What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to the channel. Today we got a client interview lined up with Matthew Jones. Now, Matthew is a engineer for a concrete company. They build skyscrapers, and he also invests in real estate on the side. He's going to talk about how he made $100,000 profit in one deal, how he's now saving himself $10,000 per deal he does, and he's going to talk about how he got $88,000 in the first 2 weeks with Fund&Grow. If you guys like the idea of what we're talking about here, please like the video, hit the subscribe bell, and we're going to jump right into it. So you said you were doing real estate deals, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. How long you been doing real estate?
For about my first fix and flip in 2013. Took me a while to get through that. Sold that. Moved into my second primary residence, used the money from the live and flip to get my first rental property. That was in 2017 through 18.
Nice.
Then fix and flip, started getting into land investing now.
So you're buying land lots now, or are you doing any wholesaling at all, or mostly just buying and holding?
It's a little bit of everything. So like I'm buying a house up in New York, up in the Adirondacks. It's going to be an Airbnb property, completely gutted, using hard money to fund that project. Buying some vacant lots that I'm flipping, going to build on some of them, looking for more fix and flip deals. My strategy is to buy fix and flip properties and land here in Virginia, and then move that to a different market, like a more affordable market.
And where'd you say you're based out of? Virginia, right? Richmond?
I live in Richmond, Virginia, yeah.
So how's the market looking there? Is it inventory real limited? I know that's how it is out here in Florida.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's nothing. I've got my real estate license as well, so like I get access to MLS, and there's nothing on the market. So things sell quick, which is nice, and you get top dollar for it. So like my strategy, like I said, is to move it from a high value market here in Virginia to New York, where upstate New York, the properties you can get for pretty cheap. Like I'm buying this house for $50,000.
Nice. In New York.
So, in New York, yeah.
Well, where is that? And give people an idea of like what size is that house? How many square feet? How do you know how old it was? When was it built? And also upstate, like where upstate? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's in the Adirondacks. If anybody's familiar with the Adirondack State Park, it's built in 1910. It's over 1,600 square feet, fully gutted. I was originally going to turn it into a duplex because the building costs kind of increased so much over the past couple of months with COVID and everything. I think I'm just going to just keep it a single family, but still Airbnb it. So it'll end up being a 6-bedroom house, 2 baths.
Sounds like a really good deal. And if you do the Airbnb, you're going to end up making quite a bit in in monthly income. And you only had to lay out $50,000. But do you know how much you'll be bringing in, like gross, each month if you do the Airbnb?
Yeah, when I pencil it out, it's based on comps in the area. It should net somewhere between $6,000 and $8,000 a month.
Nice. Now, is that before expenses?
No, that's after.
Oh, really? That's awesome. So how much you getting a night for that?
Depending on how you break it up, because if you can rent it out by the room or if you rent out the whole place, it's anywhere from like $125 a room or upwards of $600 a night for the whole house.
Wow. So that's a real desirable area? I don't know the area.
Oh, yeah. It's a resort area. I mean, it's known for, Winter Olympics and all that stuff are up there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 50 grand. That's an awesome deal.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got over 90,000 into it. I'm using hard money to fund that project.
It's gutted, so do you got to put in new drywall, new everything, or just like flooring and?
No, it's right to the studs. So all new wiring, plumbing, drywall, insulation, windows. Everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's still a really good deal. Obviously, it's a pretty big project, but I mean, you're all in for what, 140? The property value is probably going to be like 300, I would imagine. I mean, what is the house if you were to, let's say, if you were to just do a flip and sell it? What's the ARV on that house?
I'd say we're between 250 and 300 for a 6-bedroom.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Nice. Got about 50% of the value all in. That's really good. Good stuff. And when did you scoop that up?
So that's the other part of it. I'm just getting ready to close on this. I sent the purchase agreement November 13th, and I'm going to close on it next week. So
Nice.
it's been 4 months.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Holy shit. What happened? Why did it get slowed down?
The appraisal took forever. The title company took forever. Everything like COVID with the county clerk's office. They got a COVID case and it's such a small town, so they just shut the whole place down for a week. So nobody could do anything. Yeah.
Man, that's wild. So how'd the appraisal come back? Did that affect anything? I mean, usually there's no appraisal. Was it a cash deal? Because usually, I guess you can do an appraisal with a cash deal, but wasn't it as is?
It was as is, but I used hard money to fund it. So they do
okay.
for the house, and then they covered 100% of the rehab budget.
And you only had to put up how much? 20%, you said?
20%. So I'm only out, $10,000 for the house, and then whatever closing costs come out of my pocket.
Nice.
So I think it was a little under $12,000 total out of my pocket. Yeah.
And what are you paying on that hard money loan?
Yeah, that's the thing, 9.5%.
9.5%?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a long project probably too, right? So you might be sitting on it for a good while.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get done with it in 6 months, 4 to 6 months. I knew about your program before this, because to use the credit cards instead of hard money, I could have funded this whole thing.
Right. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say that you funded it with the credit we got you, but you were, like you just said, you just got started. When did you start with us?
A couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago? And how much credit do you have now?
88,800.
88,000, and you said a couple weeks it's been since you signed up? Wow, yeah, that's awesome.
That was my first draw, yeah.
Nice, that's really good. So now you got funding on hand, you can go and get a couple more deals done maybe without having to use a hard money lender. Or even if you did use a hard money lender, you can still, do half the deal with hard money, half the deal with credit, or however you want to do it. But, the pricing, the fees are pretty obvious when you're using zero interest business credit versus, the hard money that you're paying 9.5%. And that's not even that bad, 9.5%, because some people are paying 12% for hard money. So it's still a great alternative. Both are great. I just think, why not have both? It just makes a lot of sense. You just got $88,000 in a couple weeks. You can literally find another deal. I don't know if you're dealing with wholesalers or if you're doing the direct mail and all that yourself to find deals. But tomorrow morning, a wholesaler can send another deal across your desk through your email, and now you can just say, "Yep, I'd like to put an offer on that house, get under contract," and then boom, send the wire transfer from the credit account to the title company and completely close as a cash buyer. Obviously, assuming it's going to be under the $88,000 that you got. But a lot of people supplement. Some people are using it for down payment. Some people are using it with hard money. Some people are buying outright. Some people are just using it for renovations. But definitely, that's awesome. $88,000 in 2 weeks. That's really good.
I'm using the credit I got with you to do another deal. It's a land deal. It's a 43 acre that I'm getting for $135,000. So like you said, I'll use what I can from the credit cards, supplement the rest. But it helps me kind of spread out my costs, so I'm not out that cash the whole time. And then I'll flip that land, be able to pay off my credit cards in no time, to recycle that.
Right. Yeah, and even if you're doing like a buy and hold deal, you can still buy it with the credit and then do a cash out refinance, and then you'll be able to pay off the cards and then do the same process. The cool thing is that you're negotiating as a cash buyer because you're sending a wire, which is just the same as cash. Once the title company receives it, put it in escrow, it's cash at that point. So that puts you in the driver's seat when you're negotiating for the best deal. So you said it took about 2 weeks, you got $88,000. What was the process like, from start to funding? What was the onboarding process like? Just curious of some feedback.
Yeah, it was great. My account manager, Chris Borman, he did a great job, put me at ease with everything because, just starting out, you don't really know what you're getting into,
Yeah.
Is it going to work? There's a lot of skepticism around this. I heard about you guys on the Party Tipster podcast. I trust Seth Williams, and so I kind of weighted that with his recommendation. But at the same time, it's like you don't know what you're going to get into when you start dealing with a company. And Chris, any question I had, he was really on top of it. He was very responsive, very respectful, and just made me feel like he knew what he was talking about. And if there was any questions that came up with credit card companies, he was going to get right on top of it. So yeah, I felt really confident, comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's what we really strive for. You know, we want people to just feel comfortable. We want people to be happy with Fund and Grow and with, you know, paying us our membership fee. That's what we're looking to do. We're trying to provide that type of service. So it's great to hear that feedback. I really appreciate that. Now, I was just thinking as you were saying that, that land deal that you're working on right now, do you think you would have been buying that deal if you had just, you know, closed on this other deal in upstate New York? Do you think you'd have been already thinking about pulling the trigger on another deal, or is the credit giving you that extra confidence?
Yeah, it was this credit that pushed me to close this deal, to get this deal under contract and start the closing process.
That's what I love that, because that's exactly how I felt. Like when I first, a couple years, maybe 3 years ago now, when I got my first deal done, I had way more confidence leading up to that because I was using business credit. I had more credit available, and I didn't feel like as, you know, like tight or, you know, like nervous to spend the money on a deal or on marketing thousands every month. You know, just by having extra credit, it kind of gives you this like extra motivation or extra confidence in taking on more. And that's what it's all about. You need access to funding, you need more hard money, or you need more money in your bank, or you need credit if you want to do more deals. And I personally experienced that. And I talk about that too, like on webinars, because I get that same feedback from a lot of clients, that it was because they had access to it that they made the deal happen. You can't make it happen or make deals or you know buy more properties or whatever. You'll be passing by those deals all day long. But once you have the credit, now all of a sudden you're ready to pull the trigger. So I always tell people, don't wait until you have the opportunity. Don't wait until the deal, you find this great deal, and now try to come to Fund and Grow and get credit. Get the credit and watch how trigger happy you'll get once you see some deals go across your desk.
You've got to be able to manage your money still, because you've got to make those payments to the credit card company, but you've got so much more leeway and you can do more deals with the cash that you have on hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I totally agree. So you've been using hard money since like 2013?
No, just a couple of years ago I started hard deals. Yeah.
Gotcha. So the first deal you did you use like a mortgage on that one? Or how did you do that one? Yeah. How did you said you heard about us with from Seth Williams, right? The RE Tipster podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth's a really cool dude. He's been sending us clients for a few years now. Him and Jaron. Do you know Jaron too? That's his name, right?
I don't know. Jaron Burns. Yeah. I think him on the podcast.
Are they mostly focused on land, or I know Jaron's mostly focused on land. Is Seth also? Yeah. Is that what they're also all about? Yeah.
Yeah, so Seth started it, and he brought on Jaron as kind of like a partner in his deals.
Okay.
Yeah, I just completed Seth. Seth has a like an actual course you can go through to learn how to buy land. And I just completed that. Kind of like what got me going into the land deals.
That's awesome. So you really like the course? You're getting a lot out of it?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you know how long your zero interest was on average?
12 months.
12 months, okay. And is it all business credit?
It's all business credit, yep.
And did you check to make sure that none of them show up on your personal report?
I didn't check to see if they were on there, but yeah, I mean,
I always say that because people are skeptical. They're like, why is my personal credit the qualifier if you keep saying the business credit won't show up? So every time I do these interviews, I always ask, like, so does the business credit show up on your personal report? Because we always get those questions on webinars. People are always confused, like, why do you keep talking about personal credit if it's supposed to be business credit? And I always say, because business credit requires you to have good personal credit, that's the qualifier. But business credit will not show up physically on your personal credit report, and that's what's really the biggest benefit about it, I think, because you can spend that 50 grand or whatever, and you can sit on it for 6 months, pay the minimum, or pay it aggressively. Either way, as long as you make your payments, the business credit funding and the debt that you have on your business credit report is not going to show on your personal. So your personal scores over the next few months, 6 months, because you're using business credit primarily and you're not using your personal as much, your personal credit scores are going to continue to climb. And a lot of people tell me that every time I interview them. They say, hey, my credit score was 720, or my credit score jumped 100 points over the last 6 months. And it's because of the utilization. The debt utilization is so much, it's so impactful when it's all on your personal. And I personally did it. I know a lot of people who use their personal credit and they fluctuate up and down, 650, 750. It just continues to change. And then it makes it harder for you to get a mortgage or to do a cash out refinance or to get any other type of loan. You're not going to get the best rate. But when you're using business credit and then you go and do a cash out refinance, guess what? They're looking at your personal credit report, and you're going to get that cash out refi way better or more smoothly, and you're going to get a better rate that way. So that's why it's so important, and that's why I always ask that question. But that's why it's so important to use business credit. But a lot of people don't really know, they don't really know about it. They might have good personal, but they just don't know about business credit. If you don't mind, would you give everyone, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your personal credit, just give everyone an idea of like what your score was and what you had going on. Since you were able to get 88,000, that'll help people understand where they might be at.
I've worked really hard to keep my credit score high. I was pushing just close to 800 credit score. And the way I look at it, the way I kind of reasoned it is, this is a way, like if you work hard to keep that credit score up, it's a way of actually monetizing your credit score. You're actually able to cash in on that number by doing this. They might look at your personal credit, but who cares? I mean, if you're trying to grow a business, then it's beneficial to what you're trying to do.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. It's like, once in a while we get people who are hung up about inquiries. Like, oh no, that means that they're going to look at my credit report, right? Like, heck yeah, they are. Let them look at it all day long. If they're going to give you $50,000, $100,000 in literally interest-free money that they won't report to your personal, they just want to take a peek at it. And yeah, you're going to get an inquiry. That inquiry is 2 points, 3 points max. And guess what? Those inquiries that you might get when we apply to the banks, those inquiries hold no weight after 120 days. So it's like, let's do the balancing act, which is more important. A couple inquiries with a couple points, or $50,000 to $100,000 in credit. It's like, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. So do you think you're going to be able to do like an additional 3 more deals, or how many more deals do you think you'll be able to get done now each year because of the credit?
Oh, it'll depend on the size of the deals and what kind of deals I go after. If I go after more land, or if I go after houses, and if I kind of wean myself off from hard money. But I think too, with the next round of credit increases, I mean, if I can get up to closer to 200,000 or something, I mean, that just opens up even more opportunities for me. Yep. So I see, that's what I'm looking for. I want as much business line of credit as I can possibly get, because I can see the potential now. I'm going to keep doing this. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah. Beats the heck out of hard money, huh? You're saving a lot of money. How much are you saving? Are you able to do a comparison of what you might spend on a hard money deal, and then we can kind of compare it to the interest-free stuff?
Yeah, so I just did my taxes, and I was paying, that project ran a little over, but it was just under 12 months, and I paid over $10,000 in interest on that loan, on the hard money loan. And then there was 2 points in addition to that. So yeah, I mean, this is, even with what I pay for the membership with you and the 2.875% that you got to pay for plastic when using this, I mean, it's still, you're still coming out ahead.
And how much was that deal that you said you just did that cost you $10,000 in interest?
How much
was it a $100,000 hard money loan? How much did you say it was?
Yeah, so that was, I bought the house for $62,500, and the rehab budget was $86,700.
Wow.
I ended up selling the house for $250,000. So I mean, I made a good profit on it, but I still had to pay a ton of interest on that hard money loan.
What'd you end up netting on that deal? Just curious. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think it was 102.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Good job. It's a good return.
Yeah.
Not too many people are, using hard money and still making $100,000 profit. That's sick. That's really good.
Yeah.
How'd you find
I
that
managed
deal?
it. It was all off market. So like I said, like I got my real estate license, and one of my other agents in my brokerage came to me. She said, "Oh, I mean, somebody died in the house a few years ago, and the kids didn't want anything to do with it. So I'll take it." Just threw out a lowball offer, and they accepted it.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a return right there.
Yeah.
And so you're a real estate agent and you're investing in real estate on the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I've got
Nice.
a full-time job, so like the real estate agent thing, I don't really do anything with it. It's just access to the MLS. I work in the construction industry on concrete side.
Oh, okay. Nice. So are you doing any of the work on the properties, or are you hiring people?
No, I actually work for a chemical company. We supply chemicals to concrete producers.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you do like sales for that company, or what do you do there?
Yeah, it's kind of like consulting. So I got a civil engineering degree in my MBA. So companies will bring us in, like when you want to design like a skyscraper or a bridge, like we come in and like help them design the concrete for it.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, what would you say you were skeptical when you first found out about this, about Fund and Grow?
A little bit, but like I said, I valued Seth Williams' opinion. He's very
that's
sincere
right.
about what he kind of presents to people. So like if he kind of signs off on it, and the fact that he had that referral program with you, I was like, okay, like so that's not going to do that unless he, feels confident in what you guys do.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a really good dude. Like I said, we reached out to him probably like 3 years ago, and we did some YouTube podcast interview style thing, and then we ended up doing like a webinar, educational webinar. Did you see the webinar, or did you just like see the podcast?
Yeah, just listen to the podcast.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So what would you say to like the newer seasoned investor who might be on the fence or, just kind of skeptical about it?
I'd say, I mean, if you're looking to grow your business and you have worked hard to get your credit score to where you want it, you've gotten that up there, take advantage of it. Don't be shy about them taking your credit with a couple of points. I'm also doing that inquiry removal program that you guys offer through Cable. So I mean, again, like you've helped kind of eliminate that pain point as well. So if you are worried about the inquiries, pay the $270 or whatever, and then they'll get rid of those inquiries for you. You're back to where you were before you started the whole program. So, I mean, I don't know what would stop somebody. I mean, if you're relying on hard money, just do the math, and you can see that it makes more sense to do this.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll be doing another one of these after you do your next round and after the third round. Get some updates out there. But thank you for your time, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys liked the video, give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys on the next video.